Hey everybody, welcome back once again. One thing you might notice if you've been joining these reviews, keeping up with them and so forth, that I've changed my style of dress. You know, a lot of people that do reviews online, Nostalgia Critic, AVGN, just to name some of the more famous ones, they all have their set style, and I wanted my own. So I'm going to go between this and what I usually have in my videos, go back and forth, and see which one works well, which one I like better. But anyway, this episode I didn't like as much as the others. Now, it's still very good. I still very much enjoyed it. I just didn't see it as on par with the rest of them, but whatever. Let's just jump right in. We first see that Ryan is trying to avoid Drew and Jenna. Of course, we know that he's trying to avoid Jenna because he still has feelings for her. He's still attracted to her. And he's trying to get away from that and the problems that it causes. Now, with Drew, he's married to Jenna, so that causes that conflict there. But I'm also wondering if maybe it's because of Anne. The last episode at the very end, we saw Anne getting into a cab to leave, and she said she was naming her child Andrew. And Ryan was trying to think about that, and then Drew comes out and waves because he's like taking out the trash or something. Kind of ends on that note, so you're wondering maybe Drew cheated on Jenna with Anne. Now, we're not sure about that, of course. It puts it up there as a possibility at least. And then start finding out that Jenna is considering a security system because she doesn't feel secure. And later we find out one of the reasons is because she's trying to start a family and have a baby with Drew. But the security system is what really kicks things into gear. Now, there still was a lot of humor in this episode. I don't think there was as much as the other ones. And that's one reason why I found it to be lesser than the other ones. Like I said, I still very much enjoyed it. But one of the things that Wilfred was doing about security and all that was he was trying to scare the pigeons. And he was running at them, they were walking off. But as soon as they turned around, he got scared. And as I've been saying before, Wilfred shows a lot of dog-like habits. And this was one of them. Because my dog used to do that. Of course, it was much larger animals, but he'd act all tough and run after them. They'd turn around and he'd run away. So that was another clever way that they put in there. Wilfred's dog habits that show that he really is a dog. And I've explained that so much before, I'm not really going to get into it again. Another funny part that I found funny was, I thought this was pretty smart and pretty clever. When Wilfred found out about the security system, still dealing with a bit of a cold. Sorry about that. But anyway, he finds out about the security system, that they're planning to put one in. And he starts feeling, lesser than he is, because he's supposed to be the big dog, the guard dog, the watchdog. And he asks Ryan, why do you think they call them watchdogs? And Ryan says, I don't know. And then instead of coming up with a quick answer, as you would expect, he says, well, I don't know either. Nobody knows. Or something really close to that. So, that surprised me. I thought he'd say some generic answer because they watched the house. Or something like that. But, I don't know. Nobody knows. I thought that was pretty funny. Got a laugh at me for it. And, hey, if it gets a laugh, it gets a laugh. And that's a good sign. There's nothing I found to be pretty clever was the fact that Wilfred felt threatened by the security system. Now, you could debate this back and forth, but one could say that a real dog in the real world wouldn't really understand what a security system is. Now, dogs can be very smart, so some might say that they could have some inkling as to what it is, even if they don't fully understand it. But I thought that was pretty clever because, again, a lot of dogs want to protect their humans. They want to be the big dog, the watchdog, the guard dog. And when something else is doing that, especially a machine, it might, especially for Wilfred, the way Wilfred is, and I'm not getting into what he is and all that, but I could definitely see him feeling threatened by it. And I thought that was pretty damn clever. That was one of the things I really liked about the episode. I had thought about that before, but it really made me think about that when that point came up. Now, another funny thing is, when he was looking through the hero dogs, you always hear about these hero dogs. I've heard about the one that called 911 and all that. But the directors and everything, and the writers and the actors and all that, they really put their own twist to things and add on to things for their sense of humor. And this was one of the times that shined how they did that. He's going through, 911, pulled someone out of a burning building and all this, generic heroic dog stuff. And he says one of his owners was, off cocaine or couldn't get cocaine or something. So the dog got 2 kilos of it or something like that and brought it to him. That's not going to be on some real hero dog site. But with this show and the way it is, it was very clever and pretty funny. So, and then, the whole thing with Wilfred feeling threatened was when he said, I had a shit in 2 days or something like that. And Ron's like, dude, you need to shit. Really funny. Wilfred goes off screen to try. But it's a lot of that really keeps the humor going and keeps me interested in the show. Of course, as I've said before, I like all the psychological twists and turns, which have been present in the last few episodes, except for little bitty hints. And there was a little bitty thing that happened at the end of the episode that was more emotional than psychological. But hey, I'll get to that. Of course, we see a poster. Well, Ryan is the head of Neighborhood Watch. And everybody knew as soon as he saw it, as you saw it. Because Ryan said he wasn't really part of it, he was surprised by it. Of course, we all knew that Wilfred had set it up. Because Wilfred plays those games and all that. But that actually led to Ryan actually becoming part of Neighborhood Watch. Because, of course, he goes and he sees that other person in his house that wants to become a... And he first starts saying, no, we can't do this. I don't think it's a good idea. We don't have enough people. But then Jenna comes up. And she's seen the posters. And she's like, that's great, Ryan. That's great. This is awesome. You need to do this. And one guy leaves because he has feelings for Jenna. And that's really reflecting Ryan. We'll probably never see that character again. At first I thought he might be the burglar if there were burglaries in the neighborhood. But chances are he was just in there to reflect Ryan's feelings. Of course, Jenna convinces Ryan to take up the Neighborhood Watch because she's so into it and he, in a way, wants to impress her, even though he's trying to stay away from her. Now, one more funny thing, or I don't know, maybe anybody find this funny, but Wilfred was putting the badge on, he's all of a sudden started crying. He said he made a mistake. I didn't find this as good as the rest of the humor points in this episode, but I liked it. Enough about that. Now, another funny thing was right after that, when they're all walking down the street, and Wilfred has the dark glasses on, the badge, like other dogs, stay there, stay on the side of the road, or something like that. Again, very clever, very humorous, That's something you see in some cheesy, badass cop movie. Dark glasses and the tough attitude and all that. That was pretty funny. And of course, Jason Gann pulled it off very well. He's a very comedic actor, very hilarious. And him and Elijah work very well together. Anyway, Wilfred this whole time is trying to prove himself to Jenna. And he sees a car coming, about to hit that one lady. So he runs and tackles her down. Of course, the car just barely goes by after this. seconds after it happens. So she really wouldn't be in the road. If she was, they would have much time to stop. That was great. Another very clever use of their humor. And then, as we saw in the previews, at least part of it, Ryan hears a noise and he gets up and he tries to swing the bat at the shadow. Of course, we all know it's Wilfred. We knew it was him in the previews. But, he blocks the bat and smacks Ryan in the nose and the face. And, he turned on the light. There's Wilfred. Was I just making a sandwich? And that's when the preview ended. Then, in the actual show, we saw that he was trying to stage a burglary. Again, trying to prove himself. So, Ryan falls over, hits his head. And Jenna hears all the noise and comes in. Of course, this is all building up to something. And she starts taking care of Ryan because she's afraid that he may have a concussion. So she's sitting there, not in bed with him, but on the side of the bed, watching over him, making sure he's okay. And he keeps telling him, you should go home, I'm fine. And he gets a little harsh. He doesn't yell at her or scream at her or put her down. He gets a little harsh. And this finally drives her away a little bit, which he's been trying to do with the feelings and everything and all that. Of course, eventually, he realizes that that's the wrong way to do it. And that he really needs to be with Jenna. So, this will prove that happened right after the fire. Again, Wilfred's trying to prove himself. Ryan looks outside as he sees a fire at Jenna's house. So he runs over, and Jenna and Drew run out. And Ryan goes in to save Wilfred and pulls him out of the fire. Now, I'm sure we were all suspecting at this point, as Ryan did, that Wilfred was the one that said it. He admits it. I think that shows a bond between Wilfred and Ryan. Yes, part of the reason, at least a good deal of the reason, that Ryan saved Wilfred was to impress Jenna. But I really think that another part of it was he is a good friend to Wilfred, and they do have a bond, even if it's some kind of weird and twisted bond. And as much as Wilfred picks on Ryan and does weird things to him, all the mystery and all that, I really don't think Ryan can live without Wilfred. And that's just my opinion. But anyway, on to my last point. Now, when they were sitting on the couch together, I knew it. I had my sneaking suspicions, a little bit here and there. But as soon as they're talking on the couch and Jen's really opening up, I knew it. I knew that she had some feelings for him. So it basically ends on her kissing Ryan, getting up and running out of the room. Now, I think we're in the season finale. I don't think that was the season finale, because in the previews I never heard them say, the Wilfred season finale, Thursday at 10. And with no shows, I'll tell you when it's season finale. I'm thinking next week maybe, it's the 13th episode. And I think I remember that both seasons, or at least one season, ended on 13 episodes. So, and I also think that when I happened to look up the IMDb page, it only had 13 episodes listed. So, if that happens, I only have one more review to do until it comes back on again if it has a fourth season. But I'm pretty sure it will with the way it's going. The next thing I'll do, unless Wilfred continues on and on and on, I doubt it will. At the end of next month, Michael J. Fox show is coming on, and I'm really looking forward to that. Because Michael J. Fox is hilarious. He's a great actor. And I really find this role to be heroic because, of course, we know that he has Parkinson's disease. And I've heard this is not the main focus of the show. A lot of it, he's just telling Parkinson's, right in his face, fuck you. He's rising above it. And that takes so much strength and courage. In the show, he's making fun of it. And And like I said, that just takes so much strength and courage, and I have to admire him for that. You know, the Back to the Future trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. So I'm looking forward to that. And even if Wilfred continues on, which I don't think it will continue on that far, I may do both reviews. And I probably will, because I really do want to review that show. But we'll see what happens. Until next time, peace out.